Has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. This one up to the 26. Ashawn Robinson there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Here's Rudolph. But it's brought in by Washington. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which have to keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Wasn't a ton of space, but a great move. He's able to work it to the 20-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And
they'll go on the ground. And it's a fumble. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. After all of the turnover woes that they had last week, another turnover on the first drive of the game.
And when you dive into the analytics of football, it's real simple. If you're down in turnover margin, you're not going to win very many football games. The best teams always rank in the upper part of the league in terms of turnover margin.
And last week's number for them was 5 turnovers. And as you saw, another one there. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's taken to the 26. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And the Steelers set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Yeah, difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
From the 50, it's Rudolph. Escaping the pressure right. But it's caught on the right side of Smith. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh 1st.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Rudolph throwing on second down, finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Detroit! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
They'll fake it. Now Rudolph steps away to his left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. Remain in a scoreless first half. Back to Heinz Field after this.
On the ball, on the ball. Give me radar. Zero. Jumbo, jumbo. Hey, tag 50 left.
From his own goal line, Stafford. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath, but nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So that play much needed there as they're all the way up near the 40 for a 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 97 yards. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Well, good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here come the Lions now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On first down, Stafford here. And an alley to run. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
10.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to air one out, and that's caught inside the 35. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Real light, 21. 0. Hey, go here.
The final shot before the break. Stafford looking, and that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game. Extra point forthcoming. Point after, up and good. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally.
Monday.
I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, 22.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
22. Hey, go here.
Just beating the play clock. Stafford looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And he fields it cleanly. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A handoff to Smith. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They go back to the ground with Smith. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Gun! Detroit!
Here's a give to Smith. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Watch it now, Barney! Over!
They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Final minute now of the third quarter. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
The Lions on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Rudolph now on 2nd down. Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And down he'll go at the 25. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
4 down. Detroit!
Rudolph looking to throw it. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Fielded just inside the 30. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford powers through him. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Here we go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Stafford now to throw. And hauled in by Gathers. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
Hey, go here!
Throwing is Stafford. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Now a handoff looking right. And nice yardage right off the bat here as he's up to about the 24-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Smith, and he stopped immediately there. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they will throw it here with Rudolph. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, hurry up, here we go.
And the blitz does come. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jarrett Davis in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And we'll see what he can do on the return. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
Hey, tag 50 left.
He'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd and very short. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe. Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it? Yep. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10. Rudolph going to look to throw it. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Eli Harold coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Now Ito Smith, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there? You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game. What year was that? 1978. I think it was in November. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one. Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory. So for the Steelers, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for Detroit, this could hurt in the race for home field advantage as they drop to 10-2 on the year. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.